Chickity check, check, one, one, one. Chickity check, check, mic, 3, 4, 5. Chef named Jeff, regular ordinary Swedish apartment, style A. Mealtime. Did I steal that from regular ordinary Swedish mealtime, the YouTubes? Is this anything like, has anyone seen the Andy C. New London, New England radio show? Has anyone and their mother seen? Has every other one or their mother seen the NBC New London, New England radio show between between show 1 and show 8, let's say 87? Currently this is show 88, and we've been in progress of cooking ramen noodles. For now, there's much too much water in Zip Hot, and we're going to go ahead and dump that out a little bit one-handedly, or I'll just set it down after I turn on the lamp. So we have about lots of banging and hollering and high-pitched screaming until the black eyes roll over white. And no bombs about it, man. Not until after we poop and eat same time, so it was a joke. Of course there's bombs about it. They're in the river. It's just now they're about a half-hour run/jog away, as far as to the dock, where one may be an accessory to a transit, a vehicle of sorts. A submarine is a vehicle, and from 90 something, and in my mind, man, in his mind, as well with other students in the Niantic Children's Museum Yellow Submarine program, and their private tutors, it was they were considered vehicles for transporting crew, the pilot, the plainsman, civilians, scientists, and scholars to the base under the Long Island Sound. Now I'm hoping, yeah. See, that's more like it with the water. Now, I was hoping that there was, for the amount of water in the pot to be less than before, in a certain measure, less than before. So ramen is what we're cooking. Now I mentioned there was a local. Now they do have such thing as the FM radio station, and that would not be generally. It would not be an internet talk show with video. But still, as far as the local FM, it would be not necessarily a 15-minute run or something with the terms that I've been using to zip bombs. Or the bombs, not like the bomb, like the bombs, So the regular ordinary Swedish apartment mealtime, and the Andy C. New London radio show in America, stylely mixed in there somewhere as far as words on digital record currently. As far as I know, it's a digital record with Celly there is what I've been using. Riggs is 2 Layapies and a new TV. Says TV might have internet wireless prepared, or wireless prepared at least. Smart TV in some respect, not really sure. So Riggs is a 3-part, and to cool down TV, we have N64 plugged in currently, but no, it does not run on autopilot. I have not switched the console on mechanism quite yet. As far as the ramen, there was a little ditty that went along with it on local FM radio. It's comical because it's poor. So he doesn't do a good job. I mean, as far as doesn't make money. It's impersonation. So I feel like ramen is about, well, they literally say that in the rap song, rap, R&B, thumping subs, bass, and they mention ramen noodles, and ramen noodles was the catch. Oh, they're singing about ramen noodles, and they sound somewhat happy about it. So no, that's the thing is, rap was traditionally Negro poor, not ritzed out bling to the dotted I, so to speak. And then they rap about being poor while they actually have millions of dollars was not it. No, so I feel like ramen. Yes, that would be that would be comical. That would be more entertaining. People that listen to music that apply to fiscal relativity, as far as uh, in the poor, there's poor, there's the medium section, regular, and then there's rich. You know, rich talking about being poor is offensive. I'm a fake poor person. Let's eat ramen noodles. Because no, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Well, let's buy ramen noodles for poor people. Yeah, that would be nice. And I was getting into, well, I lived in a Swedish house. 6 generations back, there was a Swedesman that he had a different name whilst he lived in Sweden. He was about 20 or 21, old enough for America. And he traveled. He wound up purchasing a lot after Ellis Isle in New London in 1810. And now he had a kid. Well, his name was changed. I'm not sure of his Swedish name. It may have been destined to travel, but written in Swedish. And that was his name, a sentence. In some kind of foreign tongue that agreed with pedophilia and hierarchy and dreamt about the Nordic Circle, 30 Days of Darkness, 30 Days of Rainbow / Sunshine. And there was that, and then they changed his name, and try not to say, no, no, get out of here, I don't believe it, you're lying, said Gunsmith. Yeah, well, apparently that's not a common name for 1810 New York City. From whatever was foreign that, regular, ordinary Americans or Native Americans just weren't really, and time is money. Even in 1810 New York City, it was still a melting pot, busy place. Gunsmith, and his nickname was Gunny. His middle name, Jones. Well, he kept his last name Carlson, so Gunny Jones Carlson. Made Tool. I'm not sure if his last name may have been, his middle name may have been Gunsmith. Tool Gunsmith Carlson makes sense, considering Werner middle name may have been Tool. At least Silva's middle name was passed on to my dad, and then there was me. So there's Gunsmith, Tool, Silva, my dad, and then I. And we all in the same 10,000 square foot parcel that was purchased back in 1810. So it was a Swedish lot. It's what we say. It's actually New London City that turned into Waterford around 1870. And then I'm Swedish, yes, but I'm also Norwegian, partially. Werner was partially Norwegian, but his wife Sarah was 100% Swedish. And Finnish, because Silva's wife was Finnish. Nordic all the way through as far as race. They weren't, that I know, those are countries, so obviously it means something ethnicity rather than race. So you're an American, I see, so which tribe are you from? How can I put you back on your sovereign nation if you're an American? I'd like to know, please. No, not necessarily, so. Oh, so you're Swedish. That means you immigrated from France 130 years ago, and you're Germanic blood type. No, not necessarily. So there was that, and then there was previous segments unrecorded, or not necessarily entertaining in every perspective that were added to separate things, and then there was carrying on. Regular, ordinary is not necessarily an internet connoisseur, but this is how speaking with machines. No, not necessarily. This is how let's say there's people that work with the voice that is put into the microphones. Yeah. From their speaker, they hear my voice, and then they use my speaker and put their voice through. Now, it was like that for a long time, or should I say long time. In America, contested. Um, Over a 15-minute run from here. And since being here, I've just ignored most of all of it and gone along with, whilst the cell phone records. And so now I'm blending in network administration sort of type things, or employee management type, managing and administration as if they're flesh and bone sort of thing. Because obviously, with the amount of videos and the amount of subscribers compared to the amount of views compared to the publicity the channel has, is fishy suspicious. Obviously, there's a team of something, or at least one superhuman, superhero genius, somebody working on my behalf, whom I probably don't know in person. But there's that, and then there's no forks in the drawer, so we'll use a spoon. And yeah, for the next 2 weeks, the pair, and we can go ahead and show the ramen noodles. I hope that I'm not literally trying to pick up my camera currently. That's overworked, like from. So that's that. That's the space shuttle. Computer Sciences Division of Orlando, Florida. Green Party, most likely, except in the north section of the United States of America, closer to Maine than Florida, not necessarily in Maine, but about, and their works this past, let's say, I was of age at least, or years before, a 16-year-old can get a job doing something similar to that. Heck, a 16-year-old in India can get a heck. When you're in India, you can be 14 and get a job doing some 30-year-old would be. Wages is a little bit different if you were to be living in a third world country instead of a whichever sort of ranking this country is under the Great Depression of World War III currently, until magic money from nowhere shows up, I suppose, owed from anonymous, currently sugary sources. And I don't really drink the broth. Actually, normally I'd brew this without broth. Add the broth later after I rinse the stove, and I have enough of it, so. And the thumbtack wants a little ride on the internet. That's nice. I've been working on it now. I'm not shaking from the intensity or some medical complication, anger or anything. Although I'm a little underslept, and I do lift 1,260 pounds on the overhead pull down. I worked out on the Bowflex until I could do 1,100 in reps, and then just kind of sold the Bowflex and figured the muscle would stick for the next however long, and it did. It went along with 3 to 5 full-size steaks about that thick, and eggs, a carton of eggs cooked however I like every morning, and that was for probably between the ages of 14 and 18, and then say something similar but with much less protein intake. Say 2003 till currently I still free weight 160 pounds like butter, and my leg press is probably still 780. Checked a year ago, and I can still treat 1,100 or 1,260 like a baby from time to time. There was one more thing. The bench was 350. I haven't even touched that in a while, so I don't know if the bench just dropped down to 250 instead. I weigh 150 pounds. I'm 6 foot tall. I'm waist size 28, and my skin changes to let's say it's not generally after vitamin D flush white, but it's white or pink or red and that's because of race. Let's say the flush white was to blush, it would look Swiss Aryan. Let's say the flush white was to be in a 0 degree temperature for an extended period of time, it would look Swedish Nordic, Finnish Nordic, um, Norwegian Nordic, not Faroe Nordic, not Iceland, Greenland Nordic, but I mean, Nords are Nords, and that's where most of them are found today. So, also, it would go to a pitch black, which we've seen on camera from time to time due to a Cherokee, due to Lenape Lenape. If you don't know what a Lenape Lenape is, it's an endangered human race. They've broken up into multiple tribes. The most two notable are Mohegan and Pequot. But I'm not eligible for tribal membership because I'm only 12% Lenape. And so I'm secretly being funded in other manners rather than pocket funding. Like I bet they would contribute to health insurance if something went wrong. They would pay to keep me alive, and etc. So I'm not eligible for tribal heritage checks. I'm not eligible for tribal membership. The minimum is 14%, and I'm 2% shy. Many sovereign nations treat indigenous peoples like that. Now a 12 and a half and a 12 and a half is 25. I mentioned I'm Cherokee. That's why my skin would turn to a pitch black. Also, it'll hold a steady brown, also known as tan, or a tan, and then a brown, like the freckles that and burgundy is what we'll see. Now, I have a separate site besides this channel, besides this show, on this playlist, on this channel. You'll notice the username is Drew Carlson. You'll notice the extension is the URL is thecarlson90, say. So there's a separate one. I've been calling it fb.dc3. Now that stands for Facebook, and it would be facebook.com/drew.carlson3. There's everyone pictures, and that one picture is me in a. It's not necessarily 100% indigenous form, but obviously it's pitch black or night sky black. Like what do you want me to say? Frying pan Teflon black. It's not flat black. It's not deep black. It's not African black. It's full black. It's like the albino is white. It's like an albino white, not an eggshell white, an albino white. Yeah, well, it's like this is a black. Okay, so it's not really a mud dirt African. Most Africans call themselves black and they're brown. I haven't really. Well, I was trying to work into a joke, and I couldn't figure it out. It's like a coffee black, not the grounds, the brewed stuff, like a black coffee black, with like a burgundy, like a blood, like Darth Maul. I don't know. He might have the fire engine red. It's not. It's not that I'm thinking of different colors. So we're not going to do that anymore. You know what? We're not going to do this anymore unless you wanted to see me eat the ramen noodles. I think they're done. 25, 4, 3, 2, check.